Hello friends, this is Dr. S.S. Deshpande, Principal of JG College of Commerce, Ahmedabad. Now today we will study Adam Smith's absolute cost difference theory, which is a part of third semester International Economics. Now the first point is the introduction. Now this theory of absolute cost difference was given by Adam Smith, the father of economics. He was a famous Scottish economist. He gave this theory in the year 1776 in his famous book called The Wealth of Nations. Point number 2 are the assumptions of the theory. The first assumption is that this is a 2 into 2 into 1 model. 2 into 2 into 1 model basically means that it has been assumed that there are two countries A and B. There are two products X and Y, and labor is the only factor of production. The second assumption is that costs of production are measured in terms of labor. This is known as labor theory of value. Since there is only one factor of production, labor, the value of the product depends on the amount of labor going into the production of that commodity. So cost is measured in terms of labor. Number 3, it is assumed that labor is perfectly mobile within the country but immobile between the countries. That means the labor can move from one place to another place within the country, but it cannot move between the countries, that is from one country to another. The next assumption is that labor is homogeneous. This means the labor in a particular country is identical in terms of efficiency and productivity. All the workers in the country are exactly same in terms of their efficiency and productivity. The next assumption is that of constant returns to scale. Now, constant returns to scale basically means that the output increases in proportion to increase in the inputs. And finally, it is assumed that there is perfect competition in the market. The next point is the meaning of absolute cost difference. Now, absolute cost difference basically means that one country is absolutely superior in the production of one product, whereas another country is absolutely superior in the production of another product. So I repeat the meaning or definition of absolute cost difference. Absolute cost difference prevails when one country is absolutely superior in the production of one commodity, whereas another country is absolutely superior in the production of another commodity. Now the meaning of absolute cost difference will become more clear when we see the next slide. This is an example of absolute cost difference. We have assumed that there are two countries, country A and country B, and there are two goods, good X and good Y, and we have taken in the table the output per hour of labor. Now the table tells us that one worker or one laborer in 1 hour in country A can either produce 6 units of good X or it can produce 4 units of good Y. I repeat, one worker in country A can either produce 6 units of good X or 4 units of good Y in 1 hour. Number 2 is country B. Now the laborer in country B in 1 hour can either produce 1 unit of good X or it can produce 5 units of good Y. Now if you observe this table carefully, you will realize that country A is absolutely superior in the production of good X because it can produce 6 units of good X as compared to 1 unit which is produced by country B. And on the other hand, country B is absolutely superior in production of the second product, that is good Y, as compared to country A, whereas country A is able to produce 4 units of good Y in the same amount of time. The worker in country B is able to produce 5 units. Now this is an example of absolute cost difference. Why? Because this definition is getting satisfied in this particular table. This table shows that one country, that is country A, is absolutely superior in the production of good X as compared to country B, whereas another country, that is country B, is absolutely superior in the production of the second product, that is good Y, in comparison to country A. So when one country is absolutely superior in the production of one product and another country is absolutely superior in the production of another product, we say that there is absolute cost difference. Now, according to Adam Smith, whenever there is this kind of absolute cost difference, the country should specialize in the production of that product in which it has got absolute cost advantage. So we can say from this table that country A has an absolute cost advantage in the production of good X, whereas country B has an absolute cost advantage in the production of another product, that is good Y. So it is suggested that country A should export good X because this is the good where the country A is having an absolute cost advantage. Now, from the table we can see that as compared to country B, country A is having a disadvantage in the production of good Y. So A should export good X, but it should import good Y from the other country. On the other hand, country B should export good Y, because if you compare these two goods, if you compare good Y, you will find that in good Y, country B is having an advantage. It can produce 5 units as compared to 4 units which are produced by country A. So B should export good Y because B is having an absolute cost advantage in the production of good Y, whereas country B should import the other product, that is good X. You can see that as compared to 6 units of good X produced by country A, country B is able to produce only 1 unit. So country B is having an absolute cost disadvantage in the production of the first product, that is good X. So this is the pattern or direction of trade. I repeat, since country A is having an absolute cost advantage in the production of good X, country A should export good X and A should import Y, because in good Y, country A is having an absolute cost disadvantage. On the other hand, country B should export good Y because B is having an absolute cost advantage in the production of good Y, and B should import good X from country A because in good X, B is having an absolute cost disadvantage. Now, this is the statement of the theory. So the heading is statement of absolute cost advantage theorem. Other things being equal, a country tends to specialize in and exports those commodities in the production of which it has an absolute cost advantage, and it will import that product in which it has an absolute cost disadvantage. Next, we try to find out the domestic exchange rates of both the countries. Now, in country A, the worker can either produce 6 units of good X or it can produce 4 units of good Y. Now, please remember that 6 is to 4 itself means 1 is to 0.6. The original numbers are 6 is to 4. Now, if you want to convert 6 into 1, you will have to do 1 is equal to 4 upon 6, which is nothing but 0.6. So, what is the domestic exchange rate of country A? The domestic exchange rate of country A is 1 unit of good X is to 0.6 units of good Y. And similarly, the domestic exchange rate for country B is 1 unit of good X is to 5 units of good Y. Now, what do you mean by the domestic exchange rates? Now, domestic exchange rate is the exchange rate which prevails inside the country. This is the rate at which the two commodities exchange with each other in the particular country. So, when I say that domestic exchange rate in country A is 1x equal to 0.6y, this means that this is the rate at which the two products will exchange with each other in the first country, that is country A. What is the meaning of domestic exchange rate of country B? The domestic exchange rate of country B is 1 unit of X is equal to 5 units of Y. This means this is the rate at which the two commodities X and Y exchange with each other in the second country, that is B. Next we are trying to prove that both the countries will gain from international trade if they enter into trade with each other. Country A should export good X and import good Y, whereas country B should export good Y and it should import good X. If both the countries trade in this manner, the trade will be mutually beneficial to both the countries. Now, in order to prove this, first of all, we will have a look at the domestic exchange rates of both the countries, and then we will assume an international exchange rate between the two domestic exchange rates. So first is the domestic exchange rate of country A, which we have already seen. It is 1 unit of X is equal to 0.6 units of Y, whereas the domestic exchange rate of country B is 1 unit of X is equal to 5 units of good Y. Now we have assumed an international exchange rate of 1x is equal to 3y. Now this is an exchange rate at which the two countries will trade with each other. Now just remember that international exchange rate should lie between the two domestic exchange rates. Anywhere in between the two domestic exchange rates, it can be anywhere more than 0.6 and less than 5y. So it should be between 0.6y and 5y. So we have assumed it to be 1x is equal to 3y. Now let us try to prove how both the countries will gain from international trade when there is an absolute cost difference between the two countries. Now country A has been suggested to specialize in good X. It should not try to produce good Y. Now suppose country A tries to produce good Y on its own. What will happen? In order to produce 0.6 units of Y, this country will have to sacrifice 1 unit of X. In other words, by sacrificing 1 unit of X, country A will get only 0.6 units of Y. Now here it is suggested that instead of trying to produce good Y on its own, country A should first try to produce good X. A should use its labor for producing good X. And after producing 1 unit of X, country A should export it to country B at this rate, and country B will happily provide 3 units of Y for 1 unit of X. So the point we are trying to prove is that if country A tries to produce good Y on its own, it will have to sacrifice 1 unit of good X. So by sacrificing 1 unit of X, country A is getting just 0.6 units of Y. Now instead of trying to produce good Y on its own, if this country first produces good X in which it is having an absolute cost advantage, and then after producing good X, if it exports good X to country B will in return give 3 units of Y to country A. This means country A's gain is additional 2.4 units of good Y through international trade. Similarly, what is recommended for country B? That country B should specialize in the production of good Y. Country B should export good Y because B is having an absolute cost advantage in the production of good Y. Now, if country A, on the contrary, tries to produce good X, then for producing just 1 unit of good X, this country will have to sacrifice 5 units of Y. So it is advisable for the second country B to utilize its resources, that is labor, in production of good Y. And then it will be able to produce 5 units of Y in 1 hour. And then out of the 5 units of Y which country B has produced, it can keep 2 units of Y with itself and can give only 3 units of Y, and in return it will get 1 unit of X. So the point we want to prove is that without international trade, if country B tries to get 1 unit of X, it will have to sacrifice 5 whole units of Y. So what country B should do? It should first produce good Y Okay, it should not try to produce good X, and after it produces 5 units of Y, out of those 5 units at the international exchange rate, it will have to sacrifice only 3 units of Y, and country A will happily give 1 unit of X to it. So country B's gain from international trade is the saving of 2 units of Y which it has made. Thus both the countries gain from international trade when there is an absolute cost difference. Finally, we have come to the limitations of this theory. Now, the first limitation of the theory is that it neglects the demand side. So, the absolute cost difference theory given by Adam Smith totally focuses on the cost of production. Okay, if the cost of production is less or there is an absolute cost advantage, the theory says that you should export the commodity. But suppose the product in which you have a cost advantage, the demand for the same product in the country is very high. So it is quite possible, despite having a low cost, because of a very high demand, you may be required to import the commodity instead of exporting it as suggested by the theory. The second limitation is that it does not explain the reasons for the comparative cost advantage. See, the theory did not tell us why country A had an absolute cost advantage. This is absolute cost advantage. Read it, absolute cost advantage. The theory does not explain why country A has an advantage in good X, why country B has an advantage in good Y. So that explanation has not been given. This explanation was later on given by the Heckscher-Ohlin theory of international trade, which is also known as the factor endowment theory of trade. So that is the second limitation. This theory does not explain the reasons behind the absolute cost difference. Why one country is having advantage in one product, another country is having advantage in another product. The reasons behind those advantages are not discussed in the theory. And finally, most of the assumptions of this theory are unrealistic. So there is no full employment and perfect competition in real world. So this is an imaginary assumption. Similarly, the condition of constant returns to scale do not prevail in reality. So that is also a wrong assumption, the assumption of constant returns to scale. And finally, labor is neither homogeneous nor is it perfectly mobile even within the country. So these are the main limitations of the theory. So this is the first major theory of international trade, Adam Smith's absolute cost difference theory. So if we have to summarize, we can say that international trade will be mutually beneficial to both the countries when there is absolute cost difference. And what is absolute cost difference? One country is absolutely superior in the production of one product, whereas another country is absolutely superior in the production of the other product. And the country should export that commodity in which it is having an absolute cost advantage, whereas it should import that commodity in which it is having an absolute cost disadvantage. And if the countries trade with each other in this manner, if they import and export with each other in this manner, both the countries are bound to benefit. So this is the theory of absolute cost difference given by Adam Smith. Thank you very much.